Hey guys, Augiesaint here and welcome to the channel. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and we have the D4 Season 4 PTR patch notes kind of thing. Pretty much the redemption arc of Diablo begins now. So this is actually looking really good, and let's hope that it is as good as what it looks like on paper. Because going through all these notes once myself, and I just skimmed through the campfire chat that they had recently over on YouTube, the live stream. I like skimmed through it, and this looks like a very good change coming to Diablo Season 4. The main thing being the PTR, so we actually get to test this out on the 2nd of April all the way up until the 9th of April. So it's actually like a week-long test that you can go try out PTR Season 4 if you are on Battle.net PC, by the way. So if you're on Steam PC, you cannot try this out. And consoles obviously cannot have access to this either. You have to be on Battle.net. But without further ado, let's hop on in. The purpose of the video is to test updates and features that you see from April 2 to April 9th for players with a PC Battle.net account. Now I have a bunch of stuff in here. The main big thing being the itemization changes. They have the class update patch notes over there, which they don't actually have yet. But if you go click on that link, you can go watch the campfire chat of the PTR overview. And they talk about it over there. I'm just going to wait for the patch notes to actually cover the class changes. The main thing for me is these itemization changes. Reduce the number of affixes now on 3 legendary items and 2 on rare items. So before you get 4 on them, and I believe like 3 or 4 on rare as well. But so they're reducing it, making a smaller amount of affixes on it, so they're more important, I guess. Smaller pool, more potent affixes. Okay, so there we go. Point 2. More relevant affixes, e.g. ranks of a single core skill, so I'm going to try and get those on in more important, instead of like, you know, damage on a Tuesday, damage on a Wednesday, damage on a Thursday, whatever all the other affixes are that is there that don't really do anything. Only sacred items in World Tier 3 and only ancestral items in World Tier 4. So that means you won't see like a bloat of items, like you won't see sacreds in World Tier 4. I believe they kind of do that right now. Or is this a less chance for it? But apparently this is the time where it fully changes over to that. So affixes values are tuned up to be punchier. We want you and the Fiends of Sanctuary to really feel them, so they're going to be more impactful. New affixes and positioning of affixes. Resource per second, resource on kill, lucky hit, apply vulnerable. That's a really good way to actually apply vulnerable now for a lot of classes. Like Sork only has very few ways of applying vulnerable, so that is a huge change there. So lucky hit is going to become even more important for most builds, it seems. Life per hit, basic skill ranks, all of this is very important, or not important, but it's actually good affixes instead of, you know, damage on a Easter holiday in like 2023 when there's a solar eclipse or something like that. So miscellaneous update, legendary items drop from the enemy level 95 plus are always 925 item level. So once you are killing enemies 95 plus, I forgot exactly what level of Nightmare Dungeon this is. I think it's around like 40 or 38, around that area, somewhere around there. We haven't Diabloed in a while, but we will be coming back for this season, so hopefully this is going to be good. But now the item power will always be 925, and you will pretty much always be killing enemies at least level 100 and above once you do get into the end game, where you are farming yourself some items and stuff. And I mean, that's like the whole point of farming your better character. You will definitely be fighting enemies above level 95. Gems are simpler, more useful, and have a much longer crafting tail. Gems now have core stats, and the more conditional bonuses have been simplified. Salvage crafting and rewards have all been tuned. Significantly reduced item drop rates, less time sorting, more time slaying. Good, so we don't have to spend hours looking at items that all eventually just suck. So we can go out there and kill some stuff some more often. Item rerolling gold cost capped when enchanting. I hope this is like a decent cap, and they don't just say, oh, it's capped at, you know, 20 million a reroll. Because that's not going to really help us much anyway. But we hope this is less than 1 million, because if it gets into the millions, it starts adding up really fast when you start enchanting items. Material removal and consolidation. Forgotten Souls now can be obtained from Whispers and are now a global rare drop from Elites. That's good, although I don't think I ever run out of these. I mainly run out of gold because enchanting costs are crazy. Uniques appear earlier. Some uniques now dropping starting in World Tier 1 and 2. Okay, that's interesting, because never before would you get them in World Tier 1 or 2. All uniques can now drop in World Tier 3. Also interesting again, because some other uniques like Ubi uniques you could only get in T4 once you kill like a level 80 or above once, I believe it was. Ubi uniques can now start dropping from monsters level 55. Oh, okay. So this is as low as World Tier 3, because World Tier 3 monsters usually go up to like level 75. So now you have the chance of getting Ubi uniques even in World Tier 3. That should increase the drop rate, because there's more samples of more people killing more stuff, so we'll see how that all goes. I have yet to get a Ubi unique. Drops at 925 item power. Okay, so the normal Uber unique. That could be a massive power spike if you actually got that in World Tier 3. New crafting system, tempering. This new system will allow you to add affixes to your items on the blacksmith through a new reusable item that can drop from content in-game called tempered manuals. Now if we have a look at this, we can see there's an item to add an affix onto. Tempered affixes 0 to 2, tempered durability remaining. So I guess that's how many times you can like re-roll. Maybe you can get like a different value of the affix. And then you've got to kind of select what you want, I guess. So he has a weapon in there. I guess you can choose offense or weapons. So I'll have to see how this all turns out. But basically it sounds like you can add an affix of your choice that you have gotten this drop for the tempered manual. There are categories like Codex of Power, e.g. Resource Mobility DC. Once gained, you retain these for unlimited use. Okay, that's good. Each manual contains a handful of affixes. You are able to attach one at a time. Okay, so like, for example, the weapons could probably have a couple and you can get like a few decisions out of there. Affixes can be rerolled up to the item's tempered reroll limit. Okay, so that's what the 5 was over there. So as a 5 limit, you can only reroll it 5 times. Ancestral items can have 2 tempered affixes from different categories. Okay, so if this was an ancestral, which it looks like it is because it's white like that, then you can have 2 different ones. You get to choose over there. Obviously, you can't have utility, mobility, resource, or defense on a weapon. Maybe a resource affix, so maybe that's just because it doesn't have the temper or something. But I don't think I've really seen much of these on weapons, mainly these kind of affixes on them. So let's carry on with the read. Greater affixes, only appearing in ancestral and legendary items, unique items. These are the more powerful versions of normal affixes. 1.5 times multiplier of the affixes maximum roll. So that looks a lot better over there. An item with greater affix will be immediately obvious with unique audio cue, as well as up to a 1 up to a 4 next to the item name, indicating how many affixes are greater. Okay, e.g. Helm Ancestral 2, so it will have 2 greater affixes on it. Each affix on the item has a chance to be greater on World Tier 3 and 4. So you could get an item with all of them at, what do you call this, like the upper affix, greater affix. So that is pretty interesting for the itemization. Players cannot enchant into a greater affix. They can only be found. Okay. So you're going to have to look for items with affixes that you want that are greater, and then you're going to have to enchant onto that. Say now you get one with like 2 greater affixes that are really good and a 3rd affix that's bad. Maybe you can replace it or you can add another affix. I'm not sure how it's going to work, but definitely gives you some variety, which Diablo is very lacking in the gearing department. Masterworking, a late game crafting system to upgrade items using materials gathered from the pit. Improves the value of your current affixes. There are 12 upgrade ranks. Every 4 ranks, a single affix is massively upgraded. I wonder if that will actually work towards greater affixes, if that will actually update them as well. Other ranks significantly increase the value of all affixes. So have a look at this. The Masterwork Complete Ring of the Sacrilegious Soul has been upgraded. I believe this is a unique ring for the Necromancer that actually does like all of the malignant stuff from back in the day. So it's pretty cool that you can actually upgrade this 12 times and it increases all those affixes. That's really, really cool. Codex of Power update. All legendary aspects now appear in the Codex of Power, so you can focus on, okay, this right there, this is the reason I am coming back in Season 4. Because the whole reason why I didn't actually play Season 3 is because I couldn't get the affixes to make a working build on my Druid before I got Tempest Roar. Like, I was just getting reamed. I couldn't get a single affix. Well, I got a few affixes, but not the ones I need to, you know, make my build work. So, because they're all like drop chance ones. So this alone is a massive change. We can actually farm for the aspects because it seems like they are all in there. So they'll all be tied to a dungeon you can go do and get them. Even if they are the entry-level affix, it's still going to help you set up an early build to get you going. The highest roll legendary you have salvage is stored in your code. Okay, that is massive too. It saves the highest one, like it overwrites the, if you get the basic drop one from the dungeon, and then you get the random drop of like a higher level one, it seems like it's going to overwrite it, and hopefully that's permanent, not like a one-time use. Legendary affixes range increased based on item level tier, normal, sacred, ancestral. Most legendary affixes range have been increased. Interesting. The UI has been revamped, now includes manual and keyword search. You can also favor legendary aspects to make them easier to find. Okay, let's have a look at this. Filters, we've got filters, tempering, recipes, aspects, gets all in the same menu, prodigies, aspects. So this is, looks like, yeah, Codex of Power. Okay, it's changed over there. And using a cooldown restores. I wonder what the 8 out of 16 means. Does that mean that you've only got 8 uses on it? What does that mean exactly? I'm not quite sure what that means. But it shows over there using cooldown restores between 10 to 25 mana, and this one is at 17 in his Codex, so that means the highest he has found is a 17 one. So that's really good there. I'm not sure what this is. Could be the uses, I'm not sure, but actually that's not too bad. I'm okay with that if that's how it works. You have to like find the uses or something. Maybe like when you find a project aspect and you dismantle it, it just adds to the use, but it still keeps your highest roll. So you could even find lower ones. Maybe something like that is how it works. I have no idea how it works. We'll have to see once it actually comes out. But that's pretty cool there that they are upgrading it to the highest one you have. Very, very nice. Very good change. And then moving on to Helltide Reborn. The tide is so nice we made it twice. Let's hope. Diablo, let's hope. Here's what the new in the revamped Helltide event: to bring the depths of hell to the surface of Sanctuary. Helltide threat. As you battle through Helltides, you will generate threat. How much will be determined by the difficulty of monsters and how often you are securing tortured gifts within the Helltide. Dying or reset your threat. Tortured gifts are the chests, I believe. Once you open the chest, I mean that counts as a tortured gift. There are 3 Helltide threat tiers, with each increasing the danger and frequency of monster ambushes. At tier 3, you will become hell marked. Achieving maximum threat will initiate a brief ambush of frenzy of maximum enemy density. The ambush will end with a final Hellborn spawn, an immensely powerful agent of hell, resurrected from the tortured souls of Sanctuary's most powerful champions. There are 5 variants representing each class in D4, sorry. Upon activating the Hellborn ambush, your threat will reset. So it's kind of like a wanted system in GTA. Seems like there's the threat, oh, that's the first one, second one, and this was the third one, I guess. And maybe that's how many of them you've killed. And there's your cinders, and then obviously when you open chests, it will increase that. So that's good. It makes Helltide more exciting, because Helltide is pretty boring. We only really run Helltide to get the materials through the Uber bosses, so that's fun. A Cursed Ritual. Baleful Hearts can be proudly be earned through opening tortured gift chests and can be used at the Accursed Ritual location. Accursed Ritual. I wonder if this is only to do with Helltide or is this to do with the season? A scene of shocking gore. Accursed Ritual is the ultimate testament to disturbing length, blah blah blah. Deposit 3 Baleful Hearts to begin the ritual and you will be swarmed with a dense demonic ambush. Other players within your subzone will be alerted. Okay, so it's the same as like the vampire one we had back in the day. The ambush will climax with the arrival of the Blood Maiden, an immensely powerful demonic creature who will offer great reward upon her death. Okay, we're going to kill Lilith like side hoe or something like that. Sounds pretty good. World Tier 1 and 2 adjustments. To get players into the thick of Helltides much earlier in their overall character journey, the PTR will see these upcoming adjustments to make the Helltide more fun and rewarding in World Tiers 1 and 2. That's interesting, because before it was only in World Tiers 3. Actually, it might be in World Tier 1 and 2. I'm not quite sure. I haven't, played much in Season 3. All torture gives are mystery chests, no roaming bosses or ambient meteors, and less monster density overall compared to World Tier 3 and 4. All torture gifts are mystery chests. Okay, so you don't know what you're going to get, but it seems like it's just a little bit easier on World Tier 1 and 2 just to help you, ease you into the end game over there. The pit of the, I can't say that word, so we can carry on. There are rumors that deep within the network, dungeons, crawling, blah, 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 blah. Upon entering World Tier 4, you'll receive a priority quest to complete a Tier 46 Nightmare Dungeon. Upon completion, you'll begin to collect Ruined Shard during endgame activities. Collecting enough of these shards will ultimately activate the obelisk in Saragar. Activating obelisk will send you to the pit. Your goal will be to slay enough monsters before a 10-minute timer runs out. Each player death removes time from the clock. First death removes 30 seconds, second death removes 60, and third death will remove 90. Kind of like a Great Earth, like an original Great Earth, not Avatar of Zero, because Avatar of Zero was kind of meh. If you slay an enemy enough monsters, a portal will appear taking you to the boss arena. Killing the boss before the time expires will grant you the masterworking materials and unlocks the next tier of the pit. Killing a boss with 4 to 6 minutes to spare grants you an additional tier, and killing a boss with 6 or more minutes will grant you 2 additional tier unlocks. Okay, the pit has hundreds of tiers of difficulty. I wonder how many hundreds, or actually just 100. If the mastery timer expires before you finish running through the pit, you will still receive loot but won't receive any masterworking materials. The pit can be undertaken with a crew up to 4, with the player who opened the pit receiving the lion's share of materials, so you probably get more materials. Only the player who opened the pit has the chance of receiving the materials upon the summoning of the Tormented Echoes, which are the bosses, I believe. Okay, so they can receive the materials, which, yeah, you summon for the bosses. Okay. Boss ladder updates. Echo of Andariel joins the ladder in Season 4. Okay, so Andariel is coming back from the story in the same bracket as her brother Duriel, with the same uber unique drop rate, with a mix of shadow, fire, lightning, and her iconic poison attack. And Dara stands ready to face all who dare fathom her demise. Summoning parts can be acquired from the Beast on Ice and Lord Zer. Okay, so just adding it to the pool. Tormented echoes of all ladder bosses can be summoned with Stygian stones, obtained from deep within the pit. Stygian stones are needed along with the increased amount of summoning tails, but fear not, they also drop more rewards. Summon echoes will be level 200. Oh wow, really? Okay, that's cool. All items dropped are item level 925. Defeating your first Summoned Echo drops 1 Resplendent Spark at a time as a first time reward account bound. Okay, I can't remember what that does, but we'll see soon enough. Featured offers for testing. Okay, so this is pretty much in the PTR. You will be able to carry over all your stuff from your main account. So your campaign, mounts, fog of war, altars of list, all that kind of stuff will come over into the PTR. And also you can pretty much get a free character boost on your main character. You'll be able to instantly boost your character to level 100 upon entering the PTR and arriving in Kyovashad. There'll be an NPC named PTR Boost. They will only have one dialogue option, which is boost me to level 100. Upon boosting, you'll receive 100 million gold, 1000 obols, 2 random sets of essential gear, item power 920, upgraded potions, fully locked paragraphs up to 10, tempering manuals class specific, base amount of all consumable materials, and completed class system mechanics. So like you'll have your sorcerer stuff and your rogue stuff and all that kind of stuff. The boost can be repeated with new characters, and you can trade between characters as needed. So you can make multiple level 100s to try them all out. Fog of War will be completely cleared. Additionally, rewards, regardless of whether you choose to boost your character for the PTR, legend drop rates will be doubled. So the PTR seems to be very, very good. There's how you can provide feedback, how to install. You pretty much just bring up the Blizzard launcher and then you can install it from there. So overall, this is looking like a lot of good changes coming to Diablo. Like I said, the biggest one for me, this one right here. They can actually go and specifically farm aspects that you need to make a build work. Even if they are the lowest level aspect, that's still better than nothing. And then as well, this tempering, I do want to play with this and see how this is all going to go. So I'm pretty excited for Season 4. I haven't touched Diablo 4 in Season 3 because I mean, I got to like level 50 something on my Druid. I think I'm around level 57, almost 60, and I still haven't been able to get into what they feel because I just cannot make a build because I cannot get a damn aspect to drop for me. So unfortunate, but hopefully Season 4 brings it back, and this is actually the redemption arc of D4. I really hope so because I do want this game to succeed. I do enjoy it, and you guys know if you've been following my channel, I really did dive into it Seasons 1 and 2. I took a break from Lost Ark, which we are now playing Lost Ark again on the channel. If you guys would like to come check that out, come on over to the streams over at twitch.tv/Augiesaint. I will be live later today after this video, mainly streaming some Lost Ark, but we will be talking about Diablo if you have any questions as well. And then when this PTR does come out, I plan on streaming it and making a few videos covering it all so we can actually see it all leading into Season 4. Pretty excited. I hope it turns out great, and I hope to see you guys all in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please drop a like and a sub to the channel. Helps me out so much, and I'll catch you beautiful people in the next one.
Run free and dive into the sky. Hear the